Hi, my name is Lorna Evans. Today we're going to be looking at body awareness and what it is. This is for therapists, for people who are looking to know more about their own wellness, and I hope this is useful. So in recent years, body awareness and working with the body has become so popular. It's really exciting for me, and it's undergone sort of a renaissance throughout the whole therapeutic community worldwide. So this is very exciting. So in therapy, or when people are working with the body, there's lots of different phrases that people use. So whether that's body awareness, embodiment, somatic, bioenergetics, body psychotherapy. So there's a lot of words. So I'm going to sort of pop the bubbles on this and demystify it, keeping it simple. Where possible, I'll use the phrase body awareness because I don't want any of these terms to be anyway hierarchical to another, because it's all really quite simple. So let's keep it simple so we can understand it and talk to other people about it so they can understand it. So in these videos, I will be highlighting the areas where people's different theories, or how, whether that's from the past or really modern people like, I don't know, Russell Brand, or from the past like Freud, are talking about often the same thing, but I will also be highlighting where there's been a lot of splitting and a lot of conflict and people falling out with each other around this area of working with the body. Okay, so what we're bringing into awareness here is that there's a split between mind-body split. Are they separate? Are they together? Of course they're together. We know they're together. I wouldn't be doing my work if they weren't together. But I need to bring you some science and some information about this so you can have an opinion on this and go and Google some stuff and go and read some books. So the pandemic has sparked an even greater interest in this area, which is fantastic for me and really exciting. And now everybody's talking about trauma, and trauma is heavy stuff. Okay, there's workshops on trauma, this on trauma, let's talk about trauma. Whoa. It's heavy stuff. But it is also in our work, it is in all of our work. And clients now, people now are talking about their trauma, what happened, and there's the biggest thirst for knowledge now about, and people always ask me, Lorna, I want to do a workshop with you and find out where is trauma held in the body. It's like there's a magical alchemist bottle that I'm going to give people to explain this. Well, I'm going to give you some facts and science so you can understand what's going on and where it is held in the body. Okay, in our body, in our clients' bodies, in other people's bodies, and to get curious about that. And what is brilliant is now it's not just therapists talking about this. I have, you know, clients ringing me up saying, right, I want to work somatically. I've got trauma held in my body. I've been doing research on YouTube. I've been doing this. Brilliant. Okay, this is wellness. This is an alternative to taking medicine, to taking drugs. I am as well pro taking medication when necessary, but let's look at some tools to be well. Let's not keep it secret. For this, because of our relationship with neuroscience and the advances in neuroscience, we're now able to have some research about what's going on when we work with the body. Okay, so it's not just some hippie woo-woo stuff. When we do yoga, a part of the brain called the insula is impacted. It controls our immune system, our nervous system. It helps us calm down. When we do, that's why we feel different when we do yoga than other exercises. Also when we do yoga, the amygdala calms down. That alarm bell in our brain that puts us into fight, flight, freeze, calms us down. When we inhale for 4, exhale for 6, longer exhalation, we impact our nervous system. We've got science behind this now. But also the number one catalyst for this whole subject being so popular is the work of a man called Bessel van der Kolk. Look him up on YouTube. Go and buy his book, The Body Keeps the Score. Ready? The Body Keeps the Score. I now have clients coming to me with the book in the bag saying they've read it. Or, oh, actually, Lorna, I'm listening to this audio book of The Body Keeps the Score. Wow, this is a therapy book. This book helped me with my work, to do my journey. And Bessel talks about yoga. Bessel is out there. He's talking about people taking MDMA. He's taking, you know, good for him. He's on the edge. He's being disruptive. Go and be disruptive. That's why the wave's happening. We're not being vanilla. So this work is really, really important. So I just need to give him a nod here for talking about yoga, bringing the body in, bringing his own experiences in, and not pleasing people, which I like. So people often want a shiny new intervention, and we do a workshop, get a certificate done. No, I'm challenging that. Okay, let's learn a bit more. If you're interested in this subject, right, if you just want to do a workshop, get a certificate, fine, great. If you're interested in healing, if you yourself have experienced through working with your own body, yeah, some physical sensation somatically yourself that's made you be well, let's get interested in that. Let's get interested in it. So Kurt Lewin said that nothing is so practical as good theory. I love that. So without good theory, all we're doing, we're without direction, okay? So it's a process with theory of getting clear by noticing its weaknesses. So actually, what doesn't fit, what feels dated now. So where it's incomplete, where it failed. But therefore, how can we always be improving, testing, changing? And this is the case with working with the body. So by struggling with conflicting ideas, that's where the truth is going to emerge, and you're going to have an opinion, just like I've got an opinion, and they will be different, and that's okay and healthy. So the challenge will lead us to realize what is useful in ourselves, what is useful with our clients, what works and what doesn't work. So by reading the history, by listening to these videos that I'm going to put up online now, hearing the conflict, that's what I'm highlighting here, that there's conflict in working with the body, that people have split, people's careers have been destroyed, and people have tried to destroy other people's careers because of working with the body. It's really useful, because then it's a privilege for us to then have an opinion on that, to have our own opinion. So I'm going to encourage you to pause and think, because that's going to give you confidence to begin working with the body in your work. Newsflash here, something that I'm going to be bringing forward is, well, where are all the women? Where are all the women? Where are all the women? Okay, so as we're doing this work today, working with the body, it's very exciting, it's very new, but there is a political and social timeline that runs along with the timeline that we're going to be discussing here when we're going back to the early 20th century and before that. Okay, so the history of psychology was and still is today very often presented to us by white older men. So it's often, when we look back in history, that their partners are female students. The women were doing the work. The women were in the trenches. I'll give an example here. A lady called Laura Pearls. She was the founder of Gestalt therapy, but most people only know about her husband, Fritz, who was a bit of a narcissist. So the women were doing the work, yet their papers weren't published. Were they even asked to write the papers? Their names disappeared. So at the time, women were marginalised. Are we still marginalised? That's another discussion. So women were marginalised. Women were working with marginalised groups. Women still are. Yeah? Marginalised groups working with marginalised groups. Often in the field of mental health facilities, special needs. So their names quickly disappeared, right? It's because they're often without competitive ego, privilege or nepotism. So I'll give you the example, Freud's daughter, Anna Freud, their works, they didn't make it into publication. So they were erased from history. So where possible, so this is super positive, I've been digging down and researching to bring these women forward, their names forward, who have contributed to this body of work. So, and it's very interesting, especially with some of the writing projects I'm working on, that I found out that many women then, and still now today, are choosing to publish under a male name. Because today, if there is a man's name on a book, it's going to sell more copies. Yeah, right? So today, a book written by a man will sell more copies significantly. And also many women and authors and writers and scientists, They also choose to not put their name on their work because they don't feel safe. It makes them feel unsafe to put their work out there. So I'm going to highlight the lack of people of colour in this area, especially when we go back in time, when we're looking at first generation psychology. There are more people in this space now, thank goodness, and where possible I will be bringing them forward or giving and also sharing spaces and publications for you to look into yourself. So what's really hopeful to know is that now there are groups of people working hard to document and raise awareness of these women and other diverse groups who have been basically dropped out of history. And if you want to learn more about these people, like I say, I'll be giving lots of details below where you can go and find out more information, or just Google them actively. If you are interested in something, pick that thread up and go follow it.